Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This episode we have a very special guest and a very talented carver. He's come to learn some new tricks from an old dog. His name is Andrew Mallon. He is from the show on Discovery Plus, The Cut Above. It's an honor to have him here at the Mojo Dojo. Stick around for the interview. My name's Jeff Moore. I'm the Northwoods Carver, and thanks for seeing what I saw. You got to start somewhere. You might as well start at the beginning. Here's Andrew looking at the model, making lines, and I am going to come up and just kind of see where things are going to fall, and then we're going to discuss basically where everything, how deep we're going to go, and of course we're going to use some fancy artist hand signals that only we understand, and then we're going to just get him to the point where he can just rip it, and he has no hesitation whatsoever. I always find it interesting to watch another carver carve. I watch their stance, I watch the way they look at the piece. Actually, I'm looking for a lot of things. If I'm trying to figure out in my own mind what they are doing. Not in a bad way, but in a good way. Like, are they finding simple cues in the thing that they're carving to know when to stop in certain sections, or are they just flying through it, like just barreling through it, And sometimes I can catch students just barreling through it. They don't really know, and they just kind of have a vague idea, but some of those students are just absolutely fearless, where I am far more not fearless. So I think I'm about to have a conversation with Andrew about the subtlety part and what to look out for. So I just kind of have to bring this back, bring the sculpture back, or the figurine back, so we can kind of we're not trying to be perfect here. We're just trying to get Andrew to gather some of these techniques and implement them in a way that's going to be meaningful. So we're not trying to nail a perfect specimen. We're just trying to make him see the potential of the fruits of his labor. Really, I mean, he really did a great job with the ninja boards. I call them the ninja boards, and he loved it. And he did a couple of things on there where I was able to just go, all right, so you see this, now look at this compared to that. Now if you bring this part in, whatever, you see where I'm going. And he got it like a light went off in his head, and we're seeing it now, where we're seeing how he's starting to play with the shadows, the flats and the shadows. It's really cool watching him do this. We talked about this. I was there, obviously. I saw this all happening, but in the editing process, I get to see kind of how people tick, and I can see the attempts of definition and things like that from Andrew. And as you can see, he'll lay something in, he doesn't like it, he grabs, that's basically a great big eraser tool right there. That rasp is really a good tool for that. And just laying in the beak to give, I think it finalizes the head turn. I don't know, it just kind of makes me believe that it's got its kind of head tucked down, where his beak is kind of down towards its wing. And that's the thing we were trying to sell on this particular project. I wanted it to be soft and subtle, because that's really what he's wanting to do. He's wanting to learn a different type of detail so that he can use it in on projects in the future, and it also is going to broaden his horizons as far as when you start doing birds, and you don't want to have rough texture, at least he'll know how to do this subtlety stuff, and it's going to make whatever it is he's doing pop. It looks like he's slowly but surely starting to wrap up the project, and we're getting dangerously close to our chit-chat after the completion. From this point forward, it's just going to be Andrew putting in talons and maybe doing a little texturing, things like that. Other than that, he's pretty much got this thing against, well, not against the wall, but it should be finished. So for the eyes, I did one eye, and then Andrew did the other eye. I don't like doing the thing where, you put both eyes in, you put the beak in, you do the shaping, because that's really not, the student carving. That's you showing them how to do it, which I do, but I kind of do it with them, not for them. So I'll do 50% or I'll do 25% of it. In Andrew's case, I did a lot less than that. Well, here comes the interview, folks. Hope you like it. Welcome, everyone. This is Jeff Moore for the Carvers Cambium Workshops, and this week we have someone new coming to to my shop, the Mojo Dojo, all the way from Virginia. It's Andrew Mallon.
Ta-da! Here I am.
He's here.
Right.
He's been here for a couple days. He's got to depart from us, unfortunately, this afternoon at some point. But it's always great having carvers, and especially ones that are fun and that are talented and handsome. Tall.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, that was good.
Give me my money now. So Andrew was in Chicago. What was it? Friday you came up?
No.
Saturday. No.
We have no clue what day it is.
What is today?
That was Tuesday. Today's Thursday or Friday?
You've been here for a week?
No.
Feels like
I've been here like 3 days.
Oh, okay. Today's not Saturday?
I think Saturday, Friday.
I don't know what day it is.
So what happens when you're carving?
It's a luxury. I never leave my house or my shop, so it really doesn't matter what day it is. But anyways, getting back to the story, Andrew was delivering a really cool Batman piece to, where did you go?
Somewhere in Chicago.
Somewhere in Chicago, can't mention the name. Apparently it's top secret. Anyway, and so he was only going to be like 3 hours from here, so he kind of like scheduled it out where he's, right after he's done delivering, he was going to drop by and spend some time here. And the reason you were going to spend some time here was?
Jeff has been carving for 33 years. He likes to teach. He likes to talk about the art. Mm-hmm. I think you have a lot of good insight. He clearly knows what he's doing if you've seen any of his work. And he has a great outlook on and a perspective on what we do. And anytime you can get with other carvers and see a different perspective and get it from somebody that's been in the industry and as good as Jeff is, it can only help.
Thank you.
And there's definitely things in my work that I feel I lack in, and I think there's some of Jeff's strong suits. So I've been wanting to come out here for a while, and it's wow, I gotta go to Chicago. Jeff's right over there.
Right around the corner.
Let's make this happen. So I gave Jeff a call. He worked it out. I worked it out, and next thing you know, here I am.
Yeah. So it's cool that someone who's been in it now. He's been in it now 10 years, and the years treat different carvers differently. I think it depends on what your perspective is and what your mindset's like when you're going into something like this. And I think Andrew has a great, he has a great outlook on it, and he's not afraid to, go to someone else that maybe has more experience, and he's not afraid to say, hey man, can you help me out with this? Where a lot of guys, they just wouldn't do that. Like, he's saying that he would like to come here and work on some things, and I think I could never, I don't want to, like, the stuff that he's doing is just amazing. If you haven't seen it, where can they find you?
AM Sculptures on Facebook or my website, amsculptures.com, or just Andrew Mallon on Facebook. You'll see a lot of my work.
Yep.
I do mostly stump jobs, on-site jobs. So I'm doing big oak trees for the most part, and my favorite style is abstract. I have a lot of really good clientele in the metropolitan area that DC that they like that kind of work too. So I really get to do a lot of that. I also do a lot of the critters, the local animals, owls, foxes, and raccoons are a big one. But and owls are something that I really I've always struggled with and never been happy with my owls. So when Jeff and I are talking about what to work on, I said, man, I really dislike my owls, and I never feel that I'm capturing the essence of an owl.
So there's a reason why it's really kind of cool that you really want to do an owl, because you can fit one in a small piece of wood. We can bring it in the shop. We can use all battery saws and work in a wonderfully warm, cozy environment. And you came to really just hone in on his fine-tuned skills, the finesse part, which I think a lot of carvers, because they're doing on-site stuff and they're just moving through pieces, they're not really spending a bunch of time. It doesn't really, a lot of jobs don't warrant it. But I think someone like Andrew could really benefit from it. Obviously he's here because he thought so too. But so when we started doing the finesse, like the ninja boards we call them, it's where it's just a board where you learn how to use the saw over again. And it's like learning how to walk, when you're used to just running everywhere. This is like
that's a good analogy.
This is like waiting for the escalator. And you're just kind of nervous to put your foot on the dang thing, and so he really had to slow her down, and it really depends, I think, on the momentum of what you've been doing over the last 10 years is going to do, or 5 years, or a year, however long you've been carving. If you have this great momentum and you're carving outside in the weather and you got to move through these pieces, your brain is like in four-wheel drive, all speed, all full steam ahead. And so when you come here, you got to literally unplug, turn the lights off, turn the engine off, and just idle, or just sit there. And it's really hard for some people. Andrew was, you could tell he was just using his arms and his hands, and he was really giving her, I'm like, no, don't do that. You might break something.
I might have broken a chain of Jeff's.
You may have, whatever. It's no big deal. They make more chain every day. But anyway, so using the ninja boards, learning some of those techniques, those finesse techniques, a really great way to practice or implement those things you just learned on that and spent half a day doing. He just roughed out an owl, and then we implemented some of the tricks of the last 5 hours of his day and put it to use on this owl. And I think he's got a great eye, and I think most people that carve things you do owls too, right? But
I do some, yeah. They're more of I don't know, what do we call it? Storybook style.
Yeah.
A little bit big-headed, and all the feathers and furring is always real big and heavy. It's more of a chainsaw carving style, as opposed to a fine detailed kind of.
Yeah. So I think this will really pay dividends. Also, we tackled how to re-see and understand shadow and light, and how to achieve those things in a subtle way where it makes, where I call it much to do about nothing, because most people don't give, they don't care. They just put their lines in and they go, and for us, that's all we do is sit around and toil over nothing. So, and I think he was digging it. We still have some work to do, however. We have another small bear that he's working on, a mini bear, and we're gonna do the last trial. We're gonna do the dandelion. the torture lion. It's pretty tough. It's a tough, let's see. So it's a tough little thing to do. So it's taking a little pattern, and then you have to do like this crazy body gesture movements, and you crank yourself all into these weird positions to get to this thing where it looks like a dandelion. And I'm not even going to show it. If you want to see it, come on over to the Corpus Cambium and I'll show you all you want. But Andrew was on a show called
A Cut Above.
A Cut Above. And it's on what channel?
Discovery Channel.
Discovery Plus, right?
Yeah, Discovery Plus. You can now stream it. It's already made it through the full season, so it's easy to find now.
And how was that? Yeah.
It was pretty interesting. It was pretty intense at a lot of times. It was great to be with other carvers, really good carvers, and compete against them day after day. I will say it wore us out. We were all pretty beat up just from having to work that hard every day. Carving hard at a competitive level can really wear you out mentally and physically. We were also away from our homes I was gone in Upper Canada for 6.5, 7 weeks.
Dang.
I was in 10 out of the 12 episodes.
Nice.
And I really had a blast, really learned a lot, and really learned a lot about myself, and just pushing through, times of struggling when you're nervous and you've got a lot on the line and you just got to keep moving. It's something that you've got to learn to get through. And so because of that, I think it also showed me the things that I feel I'm lacking in a little bit more. It taught me more about myself. And I've always kind of wanted to come up to Jeff, and I think after that experience, I kind of wanted to do it even more. I really wanted to dial in the things that I knew were out there that I didn't have in my repertoire. So I had an opportunity to get over here and work with you. And
right. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. So do you think it was things that were missing in your repertoire that other people possessed that you didn't, and were like, dang it, I can't, I'm not gonna be able to match that. So I got to do what I got to do.
A little bit of that. I mean, everybody carves a little different. Some
Sure.
people have certain aspects that come natural to them.
Right.
There's a lot that comes natural to me, certain lines and flow and
Right.
what have you. Those are the things that I just cling right to. Some of these lighting and the gentle touch of the saw, and just the subtle ticks and motions that you can do to make something come to life is something that Jeff here masters. Has come to master after 33 years of carving.
It's much to do about nothing, folks. It's just just hold your mouth right and close your eyes and give her. But I mean, as you can see, Andrew did a great job. His style is more storybook when it comes to these owls, and I have a nice model in here that I just said, dude, I need you to slow down, focus, get your form right, and stop every once in a while. And then there's a few other things we discussed, and just really slowed him down. He probably could have carved this owl in about 15 minutes, but I guarantee it wouldn't have looked like that.
No.
So we literally slowed down. We went through, anatomically what to look for, and then I just made him draw it out on the body. And he was, believe it or not, I don't know if you know Andrew or not, but he's pretty easygoing, and it was easy to show him everything. It's like, okay, what's next? And it's just like, you sure you're not going to argue with me, or even give me the stink eye a little bit? And he's like, no, he just was good. So I mean, he's really easy to work with, and it's really great to have somebody around that has talent, to his level and wants to come see me. And I think that's like a huge compliment. And so I mean, I want to just say thanks for that, by the way. And it really makes me feel good that I can share my philosophies on this whole thing. And this is the only thing I know anymore. Anyway, I forgot pretty much everything else. But yeah, so like this is the only thing I know, and it's the only thing I'm really sufficient, suffice, something I'm good at. Efficient.
Okay.
I'm not even efficient at it. I just like I say, my work is like much to do about nothing, and I just I get off on it. So yeah. So anyway, Andrew, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah.
My wife's cooking.
Yeah. Just watch cooking. Makes it easy to come here. And now, Jeff, you're amazing. Getting to come here and you to slow down and stop your day to work with me on certain things and to slow me down and you have a good eye on seeing. You've seen enough of my work, and when we talked about it,
Right.
knowing where I could use some help and knowing where I could slow down and really
Right.
kind of work some of this stuff out. You amaze me in that. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. So like the process is, if you want to come to the Carver's Cambium workshops, basically what we did was, I just had them send me a bunch of work so I can really mill over it. Because I'm looking at it as studying. I'm just looking at him like, why does he want to come here? I mean, he's really good, so why would he come here? Out in the middle of a snow bank in Wisconsin.
I did get trapped in the snow.
Yeah, so we all got trapped in the snow. But yeah, so I mean, so if you want to do something with, myself at the Carver's Cambium workshops, usually you just send some images so I can mill over them. We discuss what you want to try to accomplish and why. And then we just kind of go from there, and then we plan time, and then you just show up and we have a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Sometimes too much fun. Some nights, sometimes.
It was one night, and then it was one morning, and then it just bled into a day, and now here we are. So, but we had a lot of fun, and it's. I think if I could change anything about this weekend, I wouldn't change a thing. It was wonderful. I think you stayed at the hotel
Yeah.
one night, and then I was just like, you know what? He's not so bad. I'll just let him stay with us. So he stayed with us at the house, and we ate our meals together, and we hung out in here, and we talked about things, just carving in general, and stories, and swapped stories, and stupid, dumb man stuff. But yeah, so if you're interested in hanging out with me at the Carver's Cambium workshops, look me up. Hit my email, or you can just contact me right here on YouTube, down in the
One of the little bars, buttons.
just go in there, and you can click that the button or the notification bell.
Yeah.
Do you don't do YouTube?
Not much.
Me neither.
But I've watched some of your stuff. One or two.
Okay. All right. So you know that I have troubles with this stuff. You're not helping me.
Well, there's buttons that you can push that
There's all kinds of buttons.
like a like button.
There's a bar.
A subscribe button, I believe.
There's a bird that tweets. Is that? No, that's not YouTube. Anyway.
Hey, we had fun. If you want to step your game up, Jeff's the man to come see. Check him out. Come on out here. He's got a wonderful shop, wonderful setup, and he's got a lot to teach.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for seeing what I saw. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Andrew, any last words?
Just keep carving, everybody.
Peace.